touchdown.
This right here lets you know Carson Wentz, not only the great athlete that he is, this was Stink was talking about, how many plays off schedule. But watch how strong his arm is. Off platform, watch him just flip it without his legs being on the ground and just enough to get it in that tight window.
And this was just one of the few really good plays by Golden Tate where he finally looks like he's fully into the fold in Philly.
Oh, Mac McClung, Liberty, Georgetown. Mac drives to the hoop, gets fouled, but still makes the layup.
Some finesse.
Nice left hand there, too.
That's
I like it.
I mean, he rises up a little far for the dunk. That's an awesome play.
Sixers Rockets. Clint Capella thinks he's got a wide open dunk. Robert Covington has other plans.
Right behind you, big fella.
Yeah, no, he couldn't see that one coming. Good defensive play by Covington.
One of the best defensive players in the league blocks another guy in Capella who's supposed to be one of the best defensive players.
It's embarrassing when you're a 7-footer and get your stuff swapped.
And finally, Nikola Jokic showing off the skills with the wraparound pass to Jamal Murray.
He's the best passing center in the league by a decent margin. He had another triple-double last night. This was a spectacular win for Denver.
Yeah, that was a good
win. To Toronto.
It was good to watch. Man, Kawhi was clutch. He hit those two runners, hit the spot up, and then hit a runner. Good game.
Tough whistle at the end against Toronto.
We have some breaking news to pass along to you. Urban Meyer will step down as Ohio State's head football coach after facing Washington in the Rose Bowl. Meyer will leave the program after winning at least 11 games in each of his 7 seasons and taking home the 2014 national championship. He will be replaced by offensive coordinator Ryan Day. CC, I'll start with you. You know Urban very well. What was your reaction to the news?
I knew it was either coming either yesterday or today. We've been battling this, going back and forth. Urban's a very, very close friend of mine, so I'm not surprised. I did know that this was part of what Urban was planning, and to be able to get through that final month of the season, because it's been an unbelievably tough season for Urban. And his biggest problem is he wants to coach, but physically he can't coach. He can't do this anymore.
And tell people why, what he's going through.
And I think it's been well documented as far as the cyst on his brain. When he gets agitated, upset, when he gets in coaching mode.
High intensity.
It becomes very to almost impossible for him to coach because the cyst begins to leak and begins to leak fluid, which leads to not a migraine headache, but a splitting headache. When we saw him double over on the sideline, that was not because of anything else but the cyst and it rupturing. And there's a few things that potentially that he could do. He could rest, and the cyst doesn't go anywhere, and potentially he could coach. The second one is to have a procedure done where they could relieve the pressure, a procedure he had done a couple years ago, but you're opening up the brain. And every time you do that, and that's not coming with a great deal of encouragement by the specialist who's working on him. And the third thing is what we saw today was Urban Meyer resigning as the coach at Ohio State.
All right, see, this is, and I don't want to reveal confidences, this is something we've talked about a lot off the air over the last month.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you just personally, are you relieved?
Urban and I had a very, very frank conversation.
Yeah.
And Urban was my wide receiver coach at Ohio State. And what I was afraid was happening in the last 4 weeks, and I refused to go to the Michigan game. I went to the Big Ten championship, and that's because Urban wanted me there. I thought something else was going to happen on the sideline before we were able to get to this day. So Urban Meyer, he really can't coach. He shouldn't be coaching, and I would argue that he shouldn't have been coaching the last month for what he went through. But that program and those kids and the promise he made to those kids, he tried to fulfill that. But it's tough, but I can guarantee you his wife, I met her, I've been knowing her for a long time, but I had a meeting with her on Friday night in Indianapolis because I was traveling with the team. Urban had me speaking to the team a couple of times. And I know she's relieved. I know the kids are relieved because we were worried. I was worried that I was going to have to speak at my friend's funeral. And that's not something you want to do. You don't want to have to think about that. And when football's taken away from you, he's not controlling it. He doesn't have really any say in this. Like, he's surrendering to his condition.
What has Urban meant to this university? You just said it was important to him to finish out the season. I mean, clearly he has such a special place in his heart for these kids, this team, the university as a whole.
Yeah, I think that when you're molding young men, and you can have an impact in their life for 4 to 6 years, the way Urban's done it, and he's been very, very successful at every level. Ohio State will survive. We've been playing football 125 years. We will survive. We got great kids there. We got a good coaching staff there. Ryan Day, and Urban and I have been going over this when he took over, when Urban was suspended. Urban thinks he's the best offensive coordinator he's ever had. Now, he's got 3 or 4 guys out there, Dan Mullins, Tom Herman, them. These guys are running Florida, Texas. He said Ryan Day is even better than them. And you can see the way he runs his offense. It's definitely far more creative. And you've seen him develop Dwayne Haskins in a very, very special way. So Urban Meyer means a lot to the university. He's a Buckeye born and bred. He's from Ohio. His dad, man, wanted him one day to be the potential to coach at Ohio State. His dad ended up passing on. So Urban has been able to fulfill a lot of goals in his life. Urban's a good man. And he's had a tremendous impact on young people, and I believe he can continue having an impact on young people moving forward. I don't believe he's done in that arena. I believe that part right there, his voice, it should be out there somewhere. So now I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to do in retirement. I'm going to beat his brakes off. I'm going to beat the brakes off him in golf. I know that. I already told him that.
And the reason I asked you if you were relieved is because I have been outside of your office while you are. I see your phone ring, says Urban Myers, because you had an S to his name in the phone. And
we have some knockdown dragouts now.
Yes. I have heard about this, about Chris telling him, hey, man, you told me what your plan was. That because of your health, because of you wanting your commitment to your wife and your children, that this was going to be it. And then 10 days later, him reaching out to you and saying, well, here's the thing. And you yelling at him and making it very clear what you just said. What you just said on TV, you said to him, you're going to put me in a position where I'm going to be talking at my friend's funeral, and I don't want to do that. And so I don't know Urban Meyer. I sat and interviewed him once. You've known him for 30 years?
Yeah.
30 years? I know he's 77-7. He has as many regular season losses at Ohio State as he has wins over Michigan. His worst season ever, they were 11-2. He's got a national championship. What he did at Ohio State is unimpeachable. He's been spectacular. But I know from a human perspective how much this means to you, how much it means to his family and the people close to him.
Yeah, and I think it was very important that he was able to finish up with this class of seniors. This class of seniors very, very special. Some of them 4-0 against Michigan, other of them 5-0 against Michigan. I think they won collectively 49 games as a group that recruited. So, yes, he's done great, great things. And one of the things he did tell me when he was kind of letting me in a little bit on what was going to happen, he said it's 7-0 against Michigan got a little ring to it. You know, 7-0, like, don't know if I'm going to be able to do much better than that. So that right there, we were able to have a smile on it. He's relieved. He's relieved also that he was involved in getting Ryan Day that head coaching job because he believes he's very, very special. And he believes, because he told me last year he was going to coach another 4 years. He believed they were going to be in the national championship, maybe 2 of the 4, but believed he could potentially win 2 of the next 4 national championships. So Ohio State is stacked. If they can get Haskins to come back for his senior year or junior year, he's a redshirt sophomore. If they can get him to come back with Ryan Day, special things in Columbus still ahead.
Well, we spent some time with Urban Meyer when we were out in Columbus, and he was a great guy and great to us. And we send our thoughts and prayers to both Urban and his family for
and congrats on an amazing run.
Yeah,
2 championships at Florida, time off, go to Ohio State, win another championship, have an undefeated season. They don't even get to play for the championship, like 85-9 overall. Like, it's unbelievable what he did at Ohio State.
We will have much more First Things First right after this.